our relationship over the idea of this, democratization of coaching at scale. So not an easy question for you, but how do companies get started? I mean, how do you start to build this culture of learning? How do you start to develop it? How do you do it at scale?
Simple question. It's really easy. Yeah. Sally, it's a really good question. And the idea that if we are going to make a change like this in an organization, there needs to be a willingness from top leadership, that there needs to be a buy-in from top leadership. And we've seen what happens if we coach into a middle management layer. They enjoy the experience, and the people reporting to them love being coached. But the people they're reporting to are still of the old command and control style management. And they're going, oh, what the hell's going on here? I'm treating my people, and I've become like a barrier so that the upper management can't access my people, and I'm trying to play this defensive role here because this is not a culture in the organization. So culture needs to be, and it should be, pervasive within an organization. And getting the buy-in of C-suite, of CEOs, can be tricky, because it does have potentially a bad rap because they're paying X amount to be coached externally, and they go, oh no, we can't afford this for the organization. Can't have everybody being coached. So there's an education process that needs to happen, and doing podcasts like this and educating out there to say a coaching culture is not about creating coaches. This is not about developing fully fledged International Coaching Federation certified coaches.
Sure,
This is about
this is about
leadership development. This is about leadership skills. And if you want to create a coaching culture, what you're doing is really, and I'm just suddenly sparked on this, we're not creating a coaching culture. We're creating a leadership culture rather than a management culture. And so we're transforming the culture from management to leadership. And if we're talking about that, and we're talking about how this engages discretionary effort, how this starts to move performance and productivity needles, because that's what the CEO is concerned about, is what's the bottom line, right? So if we can showcase how this starts to move those needles, and how this starts to encourage people to want to stay, that we have stay interviews rather than exit interviews as part of our culture, then we start to see the costs that we're saving for recruitment. We start to see the VOLP, the volt, right? We start to see that needle move in the right direction, because now we're starting to see a value chain and an employee experience that starts to speak back to strategy, that starts to speak to enabling strategy. The skills are there. We know that the organizations have got skills. They employ people because they submit their CVs and they can see, oh, you've got all these skills, right? There's strategy. Leaders know how to develop strategy. They know how to execute strategy, but actually carrying out that strategy requires culture. And Peter Drucker said, culture eats strategy for breakfast. And this is where that really starts to, the techie really hits the road, right? Because without that culture of leadership, enabling and carrying out and running with a strategy, people are sitting there going, why would I add discretionary effort? Why would I go beyond the call of my skill set in this organization? So teaching, educating, speaking to CEOs about that impact that it has, that this is not about even about coaching, this is about leadership culture, changing that narrative so that they're seeing how creating a leadership culture will impact their bottom line, I think is part of that journey that we're on. And that's the conversation. Those are the conversations we're having.
Morne, to finish us off and round off for the day, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, I would. There's got to be a pathway, an achievable pathway to adopting a coaching culture.